What is a sign that you're unattractive? The only compliment you get is that you're funny. Or that you're nice. You're 13 and at a sleepover and a fellow 13-year-old you've known for 20 minutes looks you straight in the eye and, unprompted, says you're really ugly. I'm less ugly now, but it was true at the time. You're a bitch, Jordan. People social distancing to me before it was introduced. When your friends say they want to set you up with someone and they'll run it by the other person then get back to you. Then you never hear about it ever again. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm unattractive. I mean, I simply might not be their type. But also, it's happened a few times now, so when you post a picture to social media and all the comments are about how brave you are. I love your courage. When you have your nice from inside talk with your parents/friends. You get the sympathy smile. When people talk to you in order to get to know your friend. Small kids saying you are ugly. Several people send you the same poem about being beautiful on the inside. Yeah, that happened. Damn. The only people who smile at you are people who work in retail. You never, or rarely, catch people looking at you. And if they do it's to look at how ugly you are. Now, if you ugly, they only look once. They don't want to be reminded again. See the girl next to me? Neither do I. When the popular kids would prank their friends by getting you to ask their friend out. When I worked at a homeware store I greeted a guy and we started conversation, can't remember how, but it ended with him gesturing to my face and saying beauty isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. I'm sure he meant well, but God, did that cause a spiral of self-consciousness. I was only 15. When someone of the opposite gender hugs all your friends but high-fives you. You only match with bots on Tinder, and then those bots tell you that you're ugly. When people's eyes just consistently glaze over you. When your friends describe you as someone with a big heart and a good sense of humor. What a great character in general. I had really bad acne in high school. It sucked at the time, but now I can laugh at the fact I used to look like a lumpy tomato. But babies would always cry, and I recall a lot of dogs barking at me. When people don't laugh when you joke about how unattractive you are. You're always the one who has to start a conversation. Conversations end when you try and participate. Mirrors? Clicking on this thread to see how many things you relate to. When you smile at someone and they pretend they didn't notice. The one compliment you get is that you're nice, if you get compliments at all. They say your best traits are that you're funny or have a nice personality. You don't get any matches on any dating apps. Nobody ever looks at you. No compliments from anyone besides teachers and the like. No eye contact. People will duck with you for shits and giggles. You're that friend in the friend group that's always forgotten about. People do that thing where they smile or chuckle at things you said that weren't fun. I am probably forgetting some, but as an ugly dude, these are what I notice the most. Being asked out as a joke. Yeah, that really destroyed my confidence and all feelings of self-worth as a 16-year-old girl. It's been 12 years, and I'm in my first relationship, and I still struggle to believe that a guy could actually like me. The government asks you to wear a mask in public and stay 6 away from everyone. I wish I can find a partner just like you. Not you, of course. Someone like you. When your husband tells you you need to put on some makeup and do your hair when you already have. Realizing that at 44 years old you can't remember anyone ever telling you you are pretty. That's an eye-opener, considering women tell each other they are pretty even when they are lying. Huh? Is she funny or something? When the guy in the van is suddenly all out of candy, apostrophe, when you are the one with the candy. When it takes the bartender 15 minutes to notice you. Your parents make you live in the shed out back and only feed you biscuits with mustard. You get mustard? You guys are getting biscuits? You guys get a shed? When you joke about someone liking you, and they act like it's the most repulsive thing in the world. When you're at a party and you stand by the keg for 10 minutes while the dude in charge of filling cups ignores you in favor of all the hot girls who came over after you. People don't acknowledge that you exist. When a guy taps you on the shoulder, you turn around to say hi, and then you immediately see the regret on his face, and then he has the balls to admit he doesn't really want to talk to you anymore. #TRUESTORY. When you ask people out and they say, "Ooh, I don't even like you as a friend." Dang. Guys, I think him ugly. I have a good personality. You're always the smart cousin, never the pretty cousin. The day I realized I was unattractive, I was 10 years old. In 5th grade, the governor's wife had cancer, and my 5th grade teacher decided my class would make big get well banner for the governor's wife. I was the only kid that really worked on it. Recesses, lunches, after school. A few other kids had started working on it, but quit after the first day. When it was finished, my teacher took us 4 students and the banner to the Capitol building. A reporter and a photographer from one of the newspapers was there, and they did a little story about it and took a number of pictures. The next morning my dad went to the store to buy a copy of the paper because I was going to be in it. When he found the small article and photo, the picture they used was one where the photographer had our teacher standing to the left of the shot. The other 3 kids from my class were holding 3 of the corners of the banner, and he had moved me to the right out of the shot. I got the obligatory not pictured line in the caption of the photo. That was the day I realized I was ugly. The day that I realized when the kids at school made fun of me, they weren't being mean, they were being honest. That adults saw me as ugly too, and that even a photographer, reporter and an editor of a newspaper decided that a photo for a human interest story would be ruined it. I were in it. When they always mention how funny or smart you are. People cringing when they look at you. People not looking at you. When you post a selfie saying you're ugly and everyone is nice instead of accusing you of fishing for compliments. People will, out of absolutely nowhere, remind you that looks aren't everything. When you get bounced at the club, where regular people get in easily. I once got kicked out of a club for zero reason other than you don't belong here. If that shit hid me for months. When you show up in court due to a parking ticket and end up with a 5-year jail sentence. When you go to get your picture taken at the DMV and they turn the flash off. My face breaks the camera, so the DMV uses a sketch artist. My sketch artist killed himself, and he was blind before he started. When you're only allowed to go outside after dark. Lack of matches on every online dating app you have installed. When you take 20 selfies and can't find a single good one. You're cute, just not my type. If you hear that a bunch, I have bad news. Putting on a ton of makeup and still looking ugly. Hi fellow classmate, I have a boyfriend. If you say something along the lines of "I'm ugly" in a social situation and everyone gets really awkward and uncomfortable instead of disagreeing. You're unattractive. No eye contact. When someone looks at a photo of you with friends and says, "Wow, your friend looks so cute and skinny here." You drop the soap in the prison shower and nothing happens. They say, "Ooh." When people look at you with pity. My buddy asked her friend if she could bring me along to a party. Her friend asked, "Is he hot?" She replied, "He has a big heart." You roll up to the club in a Lambo and fly threads and the ladies still ignore you. You get kicked off Tinder for violating rules 1 and 2. People's expressions on their face when you first meet them. Villagers with pitchforks and burning torches. When the priest keeps his distance. When the most common thing you hear from girl is you're a nice friend. My parents. When everyone in your class has to write nice messages about everyone in the class and literally everyone writes you're really smart. In that case you're either a genius or ugly. When your friends try to set you up and they say you're gorgeous with a feisty personality. When your 5-year-old brother doesn't want you to pick him up from school because you're ugly. When your family keeps telling you that you're unattractive. Being asked to take the group picture. / People ask you out on a dare or as a joke. When you plan out a fit and nothing looks good, you gotta stop and wonder, maybe it isn't the fit and it's me. That when you look into the mirror, you notice that you are ugly AF. You look in a mirror and your reflection sets itself on fire rather than look back at you. You're always the friend. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.